The Horizon League Network presents from Callahan Hall in Detroit, the Horizon League Women's Basketball Tournament. Tonight, the Detroit Titans host the Wright State Raiders. Hi, everybody. This is Dan York, and welcome to the quarterfinals of the Horizon League Tournament as the number 4 seed, Detroit, take on the number 5 seed, Wright State. The postseason awards have been announced, and both teams with award winners. Detroit's Sharita Brown made the Horizon League All-League First Team. Rosanna Reynolds, the all-newcomer team. Kim Demings was named to the second team for Wright State. And Ivory James made the Horizon League all-newcomer team. So we're getting ready now for the presentation of the colors on the court and our national anthem here at Callahan Hall. As Coach Autumn Rademacher, the head coach of your Detroit Titans, and Mike Bradbury, the head coach of the Wright State Raiders. The Titans looking to repeat their trip to the Horizon League final game. They lost that contest to Green Bay last season, so they're hoping for at least a repeat of that for this season. So now let's go courtside for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? Early light, what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem prior to the start of tonight's game here at Callahan Hall. Again, number 4 Detroit versus number 5 Wright State. 3 other games going on this evening. The number 1 seed Green Bay, undefeated in the Horizon League this season, taking on Valpo tonight at 7 o'clock in Green Bay, so that's Central Time. Loyola, number 3, is at number 6 Milwaukee, and Youngstown State, number 2, at number 7 Cleveland State. So even with a win here tonight, it would be unlikely for Detroit to get a home game in that semifinal round because it would require Green Bay, Loyola, and Youngstown State all to lose. And the highest seed, and assuming that is Green Bay after tonight, will host the semifinals. As we see the starting lineups being introduced, Kim Demings is at a guard, Taylor Stanton at a forward, Kyla Lamont at a guard, Casey Elkins at a guard, and Brianna Stuckey at a forward for Wright State. Demings with 19.7 points per game for Wright State. She led the Horizon League in assists with 4.5, and she had 6.1 boards per game. Elkins in double figures at 10.8 points per game, and Ivory James, one of the newcomers of the year in the Horizon League, averaging 11.5 points a game for Wright State. As you see Detroit introduced, their starters will be Rosanna Reynolds, Demeisha Fambro, and Sine Shear at guards, and Sharita Brown and Yar Shayak at forwards. Yar Shayak, the 6th man of the year this season in the Horizon League again. She also made the all-defensive team. Again, Sharita Brown, the first team Horizon League, led the Horizon League in field goal percentage at 57.9, number 3 in the conference, averaging just over 20 points a game, and number 3 in the conference in rebounding, averaging 9.3 per game. Yar Shayak number 5 in rebounding at 8.6 points per game. And Rosanna Reynolds, number 4 in the conference in assists at 4.2. So some accomplished players on the floor as you take a look at our officials for tonight's game. Some accomplished players on the floor for both of these teams. Kim Demings coming back as a sophomore this season, and Ivory James coming back for Wright State next year. Detroit graduating Yar Shayak, which is quite a loss, and Demeisha Fambro. But other than that, everybody comes back for Detroit for next season. As we get ready to jump it up here at Callahan Hall, Detroit has lost 4 of their last 6. At Valpo, the Titans shot only 33% from the field to 20 of 60. That obviously will not get it done, and I don't look for a shooting percentage that low today for Detroit. Wright State finished the regular season with a 61-53 win over Cleveland State as the referee comes over to the sidelines. Apparently we have a little something on the floor, and the fact that the players are looking up into the rafters, the jig is up, folks. We have a loose bird in the building, and I believe he is the result of this delay to start things off here tonight at Callahan Hall. So we're ready to go. It is spring, as you know. So Sharita Brown will jump it up for Detroit. And Detroit wins the opening tip-off here at Callahan Hall against Stanton. And we are ready to go for the Horizon League quarterfinals. 8 and 9 played each other, Valpo and UIC, in the first round. Valpo the winner there to make it an 8-team tournament. So Kim Demings, second team All Horizon League, handles the ball. Looks for a little help. 15 on the shot clock. Casey Elkins kicks it out. Triple from the corner by Demings. Does not go. Rebound Detroit. And Yar Shayak. Fambro, the senior from Detroit Crockett. Up top to Yar. Rosanna Reynolds. Quite a freshman season for her. Fambro with Shearer on the move. Reynolds with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Reynolds left-handed dribble into the corner, all by herself for 3. Does not go for Shearer. In and out. Rebound Wright State. Demings. Triple try. Goes. And a 3-0 lead as Stuckey with the triple. Brown just inside the three-point line. She was outside the three-point line, and Sharita Brown ties it up with 18:30 remaining in the first half. Demings looks to Mike Bradbury as she comes across half court. Shayak guarding her. Good ball movement. Triple try off the iron, will not go for Elkins. Battle underneath, that doesn't go. Rebound Detroit. Fambro. She's got Shearer open. Fambro tries to take it in all the way, but a foul on Detroit as Demings on the block. So Fambro will pick up her first. 18:04 remaining early on. Tied at 3 early. Quarterfinals of the Horizon League Women's Basketball Tournament. Detroit the 4 seed, Wright State the 5 seed, as the triple is buried by Stuckey. She has 6 early on. Brianna shooting 36% from the field when it comes to three-pointers. Sharita Brown with 5 now for Detroit. Detroit trails by 1. Demings. Blocked by Brown. Demings again with 13 on the shot clock. Lamott. No travel call there. Let's see. Tipped by Detroit out of bounds, so 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock for Wright State. So they'll have to trigger quickly. Lob in, stolen away by Sharita Brown. Brown anticipated the lob. Fambro lobs it into Shyok in traffic. Yar Shyok off the glass. Yar averaging 9 points per game. Those are her first 2. Detroit up by 1. Both teams look comfortable on offense here in the early stages. Good job by Demings to keep that in play. Almost blocked and put off the glass by Stanton. Stanton, who's averaging 5.2 per game, gets her first basket of the night. Brown thought about the 3. Shear. Yar Shyok with 15 on the shot clock. Yar Shyok right side. Yar off the glass. Yar Shyok uses the high glass. She has 4. Detroit up by 1 again. Demings. Megan Hatter ready to come into the game for Detroit. Baseline as Elkins kicks it out. Lamott into the corner. Triple try doesn't go. Putback is blocked by Yar. Second putback is blocked. Yar there defensively again, but Demings eventually gets it to go. 3 chances. They made it on the third. Detroit averaging 2.2 block shots per game. I believe they have 2 in this game already. Inside, kicked out by Brown nicely to Fambro. Nice feed by Brown to Fambro on the baseline. Detroit back up by 1. So these teams staying with each other right now. Detroit shooting 71%. They're 5 of 7 from the field. Wright State 4 of 12. Right-hander won't go. Brown with a rebound. Fed ahead and stolen away by Demings. Demings from the free throw line doesn't go. Rebound Detroit again. Detroit with 3 boards. Wright State already with 8. Shear. Yar Shyok. Sade Shear. 4-3 is short. Rebound Stuckey. And Demings will slow things down. 14:25 remaining in the first half. Demings, a sophomore from Richmond, Indiana. Demings. 4-3 short. And Fambro does a good job of staying inbounds for Detroit. Inside 14 minutes here at Callahan Hall in the first half. Reynolds. Yar forces her way back. Yar Shyok with the 6 early on in this one. Detroit with a 3-point lead. And Hatter will go back to the bench. Oops, just for an equipment adjustment. So she's still ready to come in. She's been sitting there for quite some time. Lamott kicks it up. Demings. Nice feed inside. Almost stolen away by Brown. And the basket put off the glass by Stanton. I don't think we've had a play stoppage in this game yet. Rosanna Reynolds. Lobbed up. Yar Shyok is blocked. And here come the Raiders. Demings almost has her pocket picked by Shearer. And Shearer will get called for the foul. That is her first, and that is the second play stoppage in this game. And that'll bring up a timeout here at Callahan Hall. Back and forth action early on here in the Horizon League tournament. 12 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the first half. You're watching the Horizon League tournament on the Horizon League Network. 12 minutes, 59 seconds remaining here in the first half. Titans lead it by a score of 13-12. As you see that great pass from Brown to Fambro. Both teams offensively having good games. Detroit's been out-rebounded 8-5. But Detroit is 6 of 9 from the field. Wright State is only 5 of 16. Wright State with a couple of triples. Detroit 1 of 3. Detroit with 3 blocks already in this one. And that gives us that 13-12 game. As you take a look at Mike Bradbury, the head coach of the Wright State Raiders. This is his 3rd season at the helm. And a new shot clock for Wright State, and we'll check the floor to see if there are any substitutions. Elkins gets it back. Elkins from the baseline, did not get the roll. Detroit there to pick it up. Hatter on the floor now for Detroit. Brown sitting down for the Titans. Shyok. Too much traffic there, but Shear picks it up, fires a 3, doesn't go. Rebound Elkins. Demings doesn't get the right bounce. Loose ball, Shyok there to pick it up. Reynolds. Shear, the Titans are 9-5 since Sine Shear has come back from her injury. They were 0-2 in the conference. And that feed for Hatter thrown out of bounds. And that'll bring up another timeout. 13-12 our score. 11 minutes, 54 seconds remaining here in the first half. You're watching the Horizon League tournament in high definition on the Horizon League Network.
When I was buying health coverage for my family on my own, it was really confusing choosing the right plan. But when I contacted Blue Cross, they were great. They answered all my questions and guided me to a health plan that's perfect for my whole family. Blue Cross took away the confusion. They helped me when I needed it most.
Expert guidance from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card.
It started with an idea that changed the world. And 100 years later, just down the road from where the Wright brothers tested their flying machines, Wright State University is making discoveries that will transform our world, making the national airspace safer, studying disorders of the nervous system, internationally recognized for preparing healthcare providers and first responders for emergencies, making data meaningful in today's knowledge economy, solving problems and creating jobs. Wright State University.
13-12. Titans on top with 11:54 remaining here in the first half. Now you have the number 1 and 2 defensive rebounding teams in the conference. Wright State at 27.5 boards per game. Detroit at 27.1 per game. Now Detroit has the best rebounding margin in the Horizon League at a +6. But right now, Detroit has actually out-rebounded Wright State defensively 7-3. But Wright State has out-rebounded Detroit in this one 9-8. So both teams with a little role reversal, although it's early on. 6 points for Yar Shyok, 5 for Sharita Brown. She is still on the bench for Detroit. And 6 points for Stuckey as Demings kicks it out and gets it back. Demings lost the handle behind her, but keeps it alive. Stuckey for 3, doesn't go. Loose ball, picked up by Hatter. So Fambro, who had 17 against Valpo in that loss. Yar loses the handle. Let's see, battle for it on the floor. And nice job by Hatter, but she lost it. And Demings will go in one-on-one against Rosanna Reynolds. And Demings picks up her fourth point of the night. Shyok. Destiny Levita Stevens on the floor now for Detroit. And another steal for Wright State. And laying it off the glass is Ivory James. And Autumn Rademacher will call a timeout for Detroit. She's not happy with this, a 16-3 lead now for Wright State with 10:46 remaining. Wright State on a 6-0 run here at Callahan Hall. Now let's take a look at the bracket. We talked about the fact that Valpo with a win over UIC wins the right to play number 1 Green Bay at Green Bay tonight. There you see Wright State here at Detroit. Milwaukee number 6 at number 3 Loyola. And number 7 in Cleveland State at number 2 Youngstown State. Then the semis are on Friday at the highest seed remaining. And assuming that's Green Bay, that will put the semis at Green Bay. And then the championship game on Sunday can be seen on ESPNU. But those semifinals can be seen right here on the Horizon League Network. So nothing better than March Madness and tournament basketball. Levita Stevens. Brown back into the game for Detroit. Yarshayak now has a seat. And Shearer also back into the game for Detroit. Hatter lobs it into Brown. Brown put it on the floor, goes up from the left side, and Sharita Brown now sitting at 7 points. Demings. Nice feed inside and gets the roll. Stanton does. She has 6. Nice play by the Raiders. Reynolds, the freshman from Divine Child. Again, part of that all-newcomer team along with Ivory James. Levita Stevens, or Shearer rather, changes direction. Feeds it into Hatter, knocked out of bounds by Wright State. Detroit will keep the ball with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Shyok in and Hatter out for Detroit. 9:51 remaining in the first half. Good basketball game so far here at Callahan Hall. Glad you've joined us here on the Horizon League Network. Levita Stevens. Ivory James guarding her. From the corner, does not go. Shot clock goes off. Nice steal there by Levita Stevens. Demings. Jamonica Orton in the game, off the glass, doesn't go. Rebound, Yarshayak. Reynolds. Shearer lobs it in. A battle with Brown. And a foul called on Stanton. She battled with Brown for the pass. Brown comes out victorious, and Stanton picks up the first team foul for Wright State. Fambro will check back in now for Detroit. And Levita Stevens, after some quality minutes, comes out for the Titans. Rosanna Reynolds lobs it into Brown. And you have your starters out there now for Detroit. Shear. Fed into Brown. Brown from that left side is unstoppable, as we've said over and over again when she gets to that position on the floor. She has 9. Demings. Triple try for James. Does not go. Rebound Detroit and Fambro. Ivory James, the junior transfer. A native of Camden, New Jersey. Fambro. Fambro gets the 3. Demeisha Fambro with 5 points. And Detroit back up by 2. Demings guarded by Reynolds. On the switch. Lamott. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound Detroit. Detroit now even. 11-11 rebound-wise. And a battle and a jump ball call. And that will be the possession of Detroit. And another timeout here at Callahan Hall. Titans up by 2, 20-18, 7:51 remaining in the first half. You're watching the Horizon League Women's Basketball Tournament in high definition on the Horizon League Network.
Own your money with a First Gear account for 18 to 25-year-olds. Get an auto loan discount and 2 free overdrafts per year. This is your debit card. This is your online banking. 0 minimum balance. Visit youngfreemi.com to win big. Plus, text First Gear to 41411 now for a gift card offer. The First Gear account, powered by Michigan First Credit Union. Gear up at youngfreemi.com.
.51 remaining here in the first half. Here's the triple that gave Detroit a 2-point lead. And that's the last basket for Detroit at the 8:17 mark. Detroit shooting a 52% here in the first half, 9 of 17. Wright State only shooting 8 of 25 for 32%. The Titans are 5-1 at home here in the conference tournament. Their only loss was to Wright State back in 2000. The only other game in progress in the Horizon League right now in the tournament. Youngstown State with an early 21-19 lead over Cleveland State. That game with 9:38 remaining in the first half. That game being played at Youngstown State. So Titans up by 2. Ivory James on the exchange to Elkins. This is Stuckey. And the bounce pass to James. James left side off the glass, doesn't get it to go. Shyok with the rebound. Reynolds had her in the game now for Detroit. Yarshayak from the free throw line. Yarshayak! Give her 8 points. Detroit up by 4, their biggest lead of the night. Elkins. Reynolds guarding her. And a travel call as Stanton got tied up with Reynolds. Good job defensively by Reynolds. Demings, the sophomore, comes back into the game. Just all kinds of accolades for Kim Demings this season in her sophomore year. Mirroring the progress of Sharita Brown here in Detroit. She came out big as a freshman and got even bigger as a sophomore. Shearer with 13 seconds on the shot clock. And she travels. Shearer couldn't decide what to do with it. Didn't get the look she wanted on the floor. And she ends up traveling. So 6:33 remaining in the first half. And Casey Elkins will come over half court and bring it up. Demings. Lob pass back to her. She feeds it inside to Taylor Stanton. And Taylor Stanton now with 8. Reynolds. Fambro lobs it in. Yarshayak spin move, doesn't get the roll. Reynolds with the rebound. She battles underneath, jump ball. Let's see. It is Detroit's now. We called it Detroit's ball on the alternate possession earlier, but that was a mistake. It was actually Wright State's ball, and now it'll be Detroit's ball as Levita Stevens and Brown come back into the game for Detroit and Hatter, and Shearer will sit down for the Titans. They're up by 2, 22-20. Only 1 second off the shot clock for Detroit. Fambro inside, Brown! Sharita Brown on a great pass by Fambro has 11. Detroit up by 4 again. Sharita with 3 straight double-doubles in the past 3 games. Stuckey to Demings. Off the iron for Elkins, rebound for Detroit. And Detroit now with 15 rebounds. Fambro. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Detroit now on a 9-2 run after a 6-0 run by Wright State. Reynolds on the double team, has it stripped away, but she almost got it back. Battle on the floor, another jump ball call, and this one will belong to Wright State as Sharita Brown went to the hardwood. So a very entertaining game early on. Detroit has turned it over 8 times in this game, only 3 turnovers for Wright State. So Elkins, the junior, man-to-man with Levita Stevens. Short for Demings. Loose ball. And a good job by Elkins to bounce it off of Brown. New shot clock for the Raiders. Demings looks to inbound. Finds the open man, that's Elkins. Elkins feeds it in, and another block for Detroit. Detroit with 4 blocks in this game. Brown. Hot potato for Levita Stevens. Shearer with that knee brace after that ACL tear in the league championship game last year. That volleyball swat. As you see that one go from Fambro, it's a triple. Brown has done a great job this year with that volleyball swat. And Wright State will call a timeout as Mike Bradbury has seen his team now go down by 7, 27-20, here in the quarterfinals of the Horizon League tournament. Detroit on a 14-4 run. 11 points for Brown, 8 points for Shyok, 8 points for Fambro. That's all of Detroit's scoring, tied up amongst 3 players. 8 for Stanton, 6 for Stuckey, 4 for Demings, and 2 for Ivory James. Now, Brown is 3rd in the Horizon League in scoring, tied for 15th in the nation at 20 points coming into this one. And right there with her is Demings. She's 4th in the conference at 19.7 points per game. Demings has been held to 4 so far. Brown right now with 11. Triple try from way downtown is blocked. Another block for the Titans. And Shearer, the junior, handling the rock for Detroit. Levita Stevens. Fambro. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Shearer. 4 seconds on the shot clock now. Fambro for 3. Demeisha Fambro with 3 triples. She has 11 points. Detroit with those 4 blocks is already tied their season high, and we still have 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Demings. Stuckey. Almost stolen away, instead a foul on Fambro. Fambro is averaging 12.5 points in her last 13 games, and she has those 3 triples here tonight. That'll bring up a timeout. Detroit up by 10, 30-20. You're watching Titan basketball and the Horizon League tournament on the Horizon League Network.
Medical mistakes are a global concern. At Henry Ford, we've chosen to set a new standard. If every hospital adopted our practices for quality and safety, it would virtually eliminate prescription drug errors and infections. It would reduce mortality rates by over 25%. And this year alone, it would save over 1.1 million lives. When the world needs a higher standard, they look to Henry Ford.
What does it take to compete in Horizon League women's basketball?
You practice. You sweat. You grind. You play through pain. But is it worth it? Oh yeah.
2 minutes, 59 seconds. As you take a look at Mike Bradbury on the sidelines. 2 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the first half, I should say. The Titans now with their biggest lead of the day, 10 points. 30-20. Out of town scoreboard quickly. Youngstown State up by 1, 30-29, with 2:57 remaining in the first half in that one. There's that volleyball swat that Brown has become so adept at. And then you see Fambro bury the three. So the Titans 13 of 22 from the field. Wright State only 9 of 31. That's pretty much the difference. As you see Stuckey bank that off the glass. She now has 8. Good basketball game so far. Reynolds. And probably what you would expect in this 4-5 matchup. Levita Stevens kind of launched that three from down low. Brown battling for the rebound, doesn't come up with it, and Demings lobs it back to Stuckey. Stuckey misses the three, and Shear with the rebound. Shyok. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Levita Stevens. Levita Stevens, also a freshman on this Titan team, has received increased minutes as the season has gone on. As you see, Shyok missed that one. The return of Sine Shear did more than open up minutes there. Seemed to open up the entire roster to some different moves, as you see a good defensive stand by Detroit there. Demings, Stuckey with 13 on the shot clock. Elkins fires it up, can't get it to go. And another rebound for Wright State. Demings doesn't get that one to go. Battle for it, and Detroit comes up with it finally. Levita Stevens. Shyok. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Brown. She was looking at Reynolds, and Brown called on the travel. Couldn't make anything work there with the triple team. So Demings will dribble it up over that big Detroit Titan logo at half court. Dick Vitale Court here at Callahan Hall. Historic Callahan Hall. Corner of Livernois and McNichols. Elkins. Demings. Nice shot. Her first triple. About a 10-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Brown. Levita Stevens for three. Her shot was blocked, I believe. And Shyok reaches over Lamont, no call. And with 15 seconds remaining, Wright State will try for the last shot. Titans up by 5. They led by as many as 10. And it's been 5 unanswered points for Wright State since then. Demings doesn't get it to go. Time running out. That will not count. And Detroit will go to the locker room with a 5-point lead, 30-25 here at halftime. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more from Callahan Hall. You're watching the Women's Basketball Tournament quarterfinals on the Horizon League Network.
Greetings.
30-25, Titans on top. Quarterfinals of the Women's Basketball Championship of the Horizon League. Now let's take a look at a couple of pieces produced by the Horizon League Network. First one hosted by Kyle Binder as he takes a look at the Women's Basketball Awards and then a look at the Men's Basketball Championships in a recap. So let's take a look.
Fans, thanks for tuning in to the Horizon League Network. I'm Kyle Binder, and this is the 2012-13 Horizon League Women's Basketball Awards Show. Well, despite plenty of teams fighting for a better seed on the final day of the regular season, the Green Bay Phoenix won the regular season title for the 15th consecutive time. The first tournament game is tonight, so before that happens, we have some student athletes and a coach to recognize. All awards were voted on by league head coaches, SIDs, and selected media. We will begin the awards with our Player of the Year winner, and that's Brandy Brown. She led the Youngstown State Penguins to a second-place finish, averaging 20.5 points a game, second best in the league, and led the league with averaging just over 11 rebounds. Joining her on the All-League first team is Cleveland State's Shalonda Winton. The senior led the league in scoring with 22 a game while capturing 10.5 rebounds, falling right behind Brandy Brown. Another forward on the first team is Detroit's Sharita Brown. Only a sophomore, Brown led the Titans in scoring and rebounding, averaging 20.5 points and 9.3 rebounds. She also led the league with a 57.8 field goal percentage. Next up is Green Bay's Adrian Ritchie. The senior led the Phoenix with 13.5 points a game. She also took care of the ball with the league's best assist-to-turnover ratio. Rounding out the first team is Simone Law of Loyola. After battling some injuries, she ended 5th in the league with 17 points a game and averaged 8.7 rebounds. The league was clearly dominated by forwards this year, as you see 4 making the first team All-League. Let's move on to the All-League second team. We begin with a guard, Wright State's Kim Demings. She was the preseason player of the year, leading the Raiders in scoring with nearly 20 a game. She also led the league with 4.5 assists. Only a sophomore, so we'll see her plenty in the future. Our first junior of the day makes the second team. Valpo's Tabitha Gerardo represents as the Crusaders' leading scorer with 15 a game. On the boards, she is 4th best in the league with 9.2 a night. Also a good free throw shooter at nearly 83%. Next is Green Bay senior Sarah Eichler. The forward averaged nearly 12 a game. Taylor Johnson is the youngest member of the first or second team. The well-rounded freshman was top 15 in 9 separate statistical categories. The guard averaged 14 points and 6 rebounds. Finally, rounding out the second team is UIC's Katie Hanneman. The junior averaged 14 points and 7 rebounds. Well, Kevin Borseth returned to Green Bay and led another undefeated conference season, but no ignoring what has happened in Youngstown. The Horizon League Women's Basketball Coach of the Year is Bob Bolden. This season, his team was picked preseason 8th, but the Penguins finished 2nd with a 21-win season. And remember, just 3 years ago, the year before he took over, the Penguins went 0-30. So congratulations to Coach Bolden for the job he has done. Well, moving right along, now it's time to notice the fresh faces in the league. To lead the team off, the newcomer of the year is Taylor Johnson. She She was a durable newcomer, the only Rambler to play in every single game. Joining her is crosstown rival UIC's Rachel Story. The Louisville transfer led all Horizon League newcomers with 15.5 points a game. Next is Ivory James. The transfer is second on the Raiders squad in scoring with 11.5 points and shot 37% from behind the arc. A freshman, Shawray Davis, also makes the team. She leads the league with 127 total assists and second in the league with 4.4 a game. Rounding out the all-newcomer team, Detroit freshman Rosanna Reynolds. She led the Titans with 117 assists. Well, moving along to the final all-league team. This team is for the most dedicated on the defensive end of the court. Leading off the defensive team and the defensive player of the year is Shalonda Winton. The senior averaged more minutes than any other player in the league and was third overall with 2.2 steals per game. She also led the league with 38 total blocks and averaged 1.3 a game. The rest of the defensive team is as follows. Adrian Ritchie from Green Bay, second in the league with 2.7 steals a game. How about Taylor Johnson making yet another team? The freshman led the league with 2.9 steals a game. And another Green Bay Phoenix, Sarah Eichler, the senior, getting it done on the defensive end as well. And the final member of the defensive team is Yar Shayok. A good transition because she is also the sixth person of the year in the Horizon League. She only started in 16 games, but averaged 9 points and 8.6 rebounds. She also shot 51% from the field. Well, those are all the 2012-13 awards. Congrats to all the student athletes recognized, and good luck to all players and coaches in the tournament. It begins tonight and will continue until Sunday. All games until that championship game will be streaming live here on HorizonLeague.com. For a full schedule of the week ahead, click the Schedule tab. I'm Kyle Binder, and as always, thank you for tuning in to the Horizon League Network.
Eight Horizon League Academic All-Americans,
29 Horizon League teams with perfect NCAA academic progress rate scores,
33 Horizon League teams honored by the NCAA with public recognition awards,
more than 700 Horizon League student athletes on the academic honor roll,
with a grade point average of 3.2 or better.
In the Horizon League,
we take academics seriously.
Seriously.
In a word, Horizon League basketball is
intense, pressurized, tough, competitive,
gritty, compelling,
packed house in Valpo for the Horizon League Men's Basketball Championship game. Number 1 Valpo with the home court support versus number 3 Wright State with the fan bus support. The crowd was loud early and didn't take long for Bryce Drew to whip off the jacket as the Crusaders pulled out to a 16-5 lead thanks to Ryan Brokoff's kiss off the glass and Will Bogan hitting from deep just 3 of his 14 points. The Raiders weathered the storm early, though. Tavares Sledge and Reggie Arsenault putting together a couple buckets to help the Wright State team pull back within 4. Then another Valpo senior wanted in the mix. Eric Buggs helping the Crusaders open an 11-point lead before the half thanks to his 11 first-half points. And as a team, Valpo shot 61% from the field. So could Billy Donlin coach his team back? The answer was yes. The Raiders turned up the defense, which led to the offense. Almost every starter contributed to the 22-6 run Wright State went on to open the second half. They would take a 45-42 lead thanks to a Reggie Arsenault 3 that lifted the Raiders' crowd. He would end up with 14. The Raiders then would get their largest lead, 50-44, with 5.5 remaining. But next, Kevin Van Vyk would hit a layup, and then it was back to Eric Buggs. He would score the next 5 points to give Valpo a 1-point lead with under 3 to go. Then VU clamped down on defense, and that led to a Ryan Brokoff 3 that seemed to be the dagger. Wright State only scored 4 points in the last 5.5 minutes, while the Crusaders knocked down free throws to ice the game. The clock would expire with the Valparaiso Crusaders taking the Horizon League Tournament Championship game 62-54.
This means everything. You know, obviously, all the personal accolades, you know, fantastic, but this is what we play for. This is what we put in 4 hard years for. It's what we came to. This is what we come for when we go to practice every day. You know, we grind it out. We work so hard in the off season, in the preseason, during the season. You know, all this work is for this moment right now, and you know, it's a great relief and an amazing feeling, and I'm just so proud of the team.
As a coach, it's more about the other people. You know, both ways in this game. If we win, if we lose, and you know, I would be crushed for our seniors, for our players, and I'm more excited for them. I'm excited for our administration, and I'm excited for our fans that they get to be part of this and part of the selection. So for me, it's more about the other people now. And as a player, you're kind of in the moment, but as a coach, it's more about other people.
Eric Buggs and his career best 22 points earned him the tournament MVP trophy, with his teammate Ryan Brokoff joining him on the all-tournament team.
You know, we hang out outside of basketball, and when we come for visits, that was the biggest thing, was that it was a family environment, and it's more than a basketball team. So it wasn't hard to get, you know, meshed together. I think that's what makes us such a good team, is our chemistry off the court flows over to our chemistry on the court.
The Crusaders win the Horizon League tournament for the first time in school history, and on their way to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2004.
What does it take to compete in Horizon League women's basketball?
You practice. You sweat. You grind. You play through pain. But is it worth it? Oh yeah.
The 9/11 Memorial will honor my partner and the officers who responded that morning.
It's for my brother.
And my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
It's about hope for the future.
So we always remember September 11th.
For my husband who never came home.
And the first responders who saved my life.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
That we are united.
And that we are strong. Because the best of humanity can overcome the worst hate.
It's for all the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. You can help right now by texting the word HOPE to 80088 to give $10.
Sharita Brown is 1 point away from the building record, 4 points away from the all-time Titan record.
At first, I was like, are they really going to let me have 22 points in the first half?
Brown in the middle. Gets the roll. She's been pretty much unstoppable for Detroit.
And then people like my teammates on the bench was like, you know, the record is 35, but I didn't know it was 42 or something like that. But they was like, you know, the record's 35, you need to beat the record. So, you know, I just kept pushing and trying to beat that record.
Inside to Brown. Sharita Brown muscles it up, and it goes, and Sharita Brown has just tied the Titan all-time record. This next basket, if she makes it, the free throw will set it. And she does.
I really didn't think I was going to be breaking records by my freshman year. Better yet, my sophomore year, breaking more. But, I mean, I didn't even think it was going to be, I don't want to make it seem like it was this easy, but, you know, I didn't think it was going to come this fast.
We were actually waiting for her to get to the 40. Like, we were sitting in the bleachers, we saw her at 38, so we were just cheering on. Like, she got took out the game, we wanted her to come back in. Like, Rita's a great player.
She's a complete player, and, you know, it comes out in big games. You saw her with the career high,
the school record. So, you know, she gets everything she deserves.
Just a great day for her. I'm just so happy for her. I want the world for her because her coming here and doing what she has done for the program, for the university, is just tremendous. And for her to be leading the nation in scoring at this point it kind of blows you away a little bit when you think about the Stanfords and the UConns and Notre Dames, but yet Sharita Brown is sitting on top of all of them.
8 Horizon League Academic All-Americans.
29 Horizon League teams with perfect NCAA academic progress rate scores.
33 Horizon League teams honored by the NCAA with public recognition awards.
More than 700 Horizon League student athletes on the academic honor roll.
With a grade point average of 3.2 or better.
In the Horizon League,
we take academics seriously.
Seriously.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
What does it take to compete in Horizon League women's basketball?
Heart.
Grit.
Determination. Toughness. Passion.
The madness of March begins.
What does it take to compete in Horizon League women's basketball?
You practice.
You sweat. You grind. You play through pain. But is it worth it? Oh yeah.
(30-25) Detroit on top here at Callahan Hall in the Horizon League Women's Quarterfinals. Taking a look at the leading scores in the first half. 11 points for Sharita Brown, 11 points for Demeisha Fambro, 8 points for Yar Shayak. So all of Detroit's scoring coming from only 3 players. Almost the same thing on the other side. Taylor Stanton, Brianna Stuckey with 8, 7 points for Kim Demings, and 2 for Ivory James, and that's it. Now Detroit, you can see that field goal percentage, 52% for Detroit, only 26% for Wright State. And that's been a big part of the results so far. Detroit is 14-3 this season when leading at halftime. The Titans are in the middle of a 17-9 run, although Wright State is on a 5-0 run right now. Detroit has 20 boards, 18 of those are defensive. And Detroit has 5 blocks already. They're averaging 2.2 per game. So Wright State still in this, down by only 5. Rosanna Reynolds flips it over to Shayak, and we're underway. Fambro lobs it up to Brown. Brown off the glass, gets it to go, and draws the foul. So give Brown 13. And she'll go to the line. as Stanton picks up her second and number 1 on Wright State. And this is the first free throw by either team today. Brown shooting 67% on the season. Makes it a 3-point play. 14 points for Brown. Stuckey. Demings. Elkins. So Casey Elkins with her first basket of the night. Back to a 5-point lead for Detroit. Reynolds. Shear fed into Fambro. And a block for Wright State. Stuckey for 3. Stuckey hits the 3. Give her 11. And Wright State now within 3. Reynolds gives it to Fambro. Or to Shearer, rather. Shearer in and out. Rebound Wright State. Quick pass ahead to Demings. Demings kicks it out. Three-pointer goes. And just like that, Wright State is on a tear, and they are tied with Detroit now. Lamont's first basket of the game. Shear. Shyok. Fambro into Brown. 12 seconds on the shot clock. That one does not go, but Shyok comes in, crashes the boards. New clock for Detroit. Shyok in a triple team. Reynolds all by herself. Rosanna Reynolds doesn't get the 3 to go. Demings with the rebound. Demings over half court. Lamont. Demings. Off the glass. Rebound Shyok. Wright State now on a 13-3 run going back to the second half. Brown tries to force it up, and she's fouled, I believe, by Stanton. So Brown will go to the line as Stanton picks up her third. So the sophomore starter now with 3 fouls. And Brown, who is 1 of 1 from the free throw line, will try to add on to that total. Brown a little hard with that one. Brown. One-point lead for Detroit. Lamont forces it up. Lamont with 5 points here in the second half. And a 1-point lead now for Wright State. Fambro lobs it to Yar Shyok. Shear looking for Brown. Brown in the double team, back to Shear. 10 seconds on the shot clock, lob into Brown as she keeps working closer and closer to the basket, and she draws the foul, and if that's on Stanton, that is her 4th. So 4 on Stanton. 3 on Wright State, a sub coming in now for the Raiders. Tiona McCune, who's had limited playing time this season, will come in and spell Stanton as Mike Bradbury working the officials. So 3 of 4 for Brown from the stripe. And 4 of 5 now for Sharita Brown. And Demings brings it up. And a reach-in foul on Rosanna Reynolds. So for Rosanna, that will be her first. That is only the fourth foul on Detroit total in the game. And Elkins lobs it into Lamont. Demings. Rebound Detroit. And Sine Shear. Up to Fambro. Brown. Quick out to Brown. High dribble for Brown. Rosanna Reynolds with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Shear. Quick pass out to Reynolds. Shear with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Fambro for three. Missed the iron. Put back does not go, but gets a new clock for Detroit. It goes off of Wright State out of bounds. So that works out for Detroit as they'll get a new shot clock. The Titans ahead by one. 36-35, 15:51 remaining in this one. You're watching the women's quarterfinals of the Horizon League tournament in high definition on the Horizon League network.
What does it take to compete in Horizon League women's basketball?
You practice. You sweat. You grind. You play through pain. But is it worth it? Oh, yeah.
There you see the Titan Pet Band with 15:51 remaining in this one, and the Titans lead it by one, 36-35. It's been pretty much all Wright State here in the second half. They're on a 10-3 run. So something that Coach Mike Bradbury said at halftime had an effect. 17 points, though, for Sharita Brown, 11 for Fambro, 11 for Brianna Stuckey, 8 for Stanton, 7 for Deming. Stanton out of the game with 4 fouls. Titans shooting 44%, check at 43.8% in the game, and their field goal percentage for the season is 44%, so they are right there. Brown thinks about it. Tries to sacred defender, doesn't matter, gets the roll. Sharita Brown, deadly at that spot on the floor. And Demings lobs it over to Elkins. Demings around the defense. Demings on the roll. Kim Demings with her 9th point of the game. First one here in the second half. Detroit holding on to a 1-point lead. Shear misses the three. Reynolds with the rebound, throws it away. Demings. And Demings gets it to go and draws the foul. So Demings will go to the line for the first time today as Yar Shayok picks up her first. So not a shooting foul. Thought they'd give her the shoot too. So Demings inside 15 minutes. Elkins. Back to Demings with 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Stuckey is fouled. So that foul will be on Brown, I believe. That is 3 on Detroit here in the second half. And Stuckey will go to the line and shoot 2 this time. And Stuckey makes the first one. And 2 for 2 for Brianna Stuckey at 78%. She's number 5 in the Horizon League in free throw shooting. Reynolds, bounce pass into Brown. Yar, quick pass back to Fambro. Fambro for 3. So Demeisha Fambro with her first bucket of the second half has 14 points. And Detroit back up by 2. Off the glass, won't go for Elkins. Rebound Detroit. So Detroit starting to find their legs here in the second half. Fambro through traffic, kicks it out. Reynolds from the corner. Rosanna Reynolds short. Shyok up top to Shear. New shot clock for Detroit, and they will take advantage of it. Fambro inside to Brown. Brown. Sharita Brown with 21. Detroit back up by 4. Demings, the sophomore. James through the paint. Throws it away. Fambro with the steal. Reynolds almost gets tripped up. Fambro right side, right over top of the bracket. Sheer baseline, and Detroit with control now. 15 on the shot clock. Sheer puts it on the floor, throws it up, air ball. Put back by Rosanna Reynolds. Rosanna Reynolds with her first bucket. And Detroit back up to a 6-point lead, 45-39. So a timeout called by Mike Bradbury. That's a full timeout, being that it's the first one of the second half. So we'll take a timeout. 45-39, Detroit on top, 12:49 remaining in this one. You're watching the Horizon League Women's Basketball Tournament in high definition on the Horizon League Network.
Own your money with a First Gear account for 18 to 25-year-olds. Get an auto loan discount and 2 free overdrafts per year. This is your debit card. This is your online banking. 0 minimum balance. Visit youngfreemi.com to win big. Plus, text First Gear to 41411 now for a gift card offer. The First Gear account, powered by Michigan First Credit Union. Gear up at youngfreemi.com.
8 Horizon League Academic All-Americans.
29 Horizon League teams with perfect NCAA academic progress rate scores.
33 Horizon League teams honored by the NCAA with public recognition awards.
More than 700 Horizon League student athletes on the academic honor roll.
With a grade point average of 3.2 or better.
In the Horizon League,
we take academics seriously.
Seriously.
$12 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in this one. Detroit up by 6. Let's take a look at the last 10 games for Wright State. As you can see, February, a tough month for the Raiders. They won only 1 game the entire month after a 6-game losing streak. Picked up a win at Valpo and then lost at Youngstown State and finished the season with that 61-53 win. And again, that was good for 5th in the Horizon League for the tournament. Checking the out-of-town scoreboard. Youngstown State 45, Cleveland State 38, 13-45 remaining in that one at Youngstown State. So a 7-0 run for Detroit. Shearer, by the way, is 0 for 6 shooting threes. Fambro, on the other hand, is 4 of 5. Loose ball. Good job. This is Destiny. Lavita Stevens, she goes in all by herself. Almost threw it up a little too hard. She has her first basket of the evening. Detroit back up to an 8-point lead. Demings. Into the corner. Triple try for Elkins. Does not go. And there for the rebound is Detroit's Fambro. Fambro with a bomb pass to Stevens. Stevens on the bounce to Rosanna Reynolds. Reynolds with a 4, and Bradbury calls another timeout. 30-second timeout as Detroit has stretched it out to a 10-point lead again. I believe this is their highest margin. Second time they have been up by 10. Now let's take a look at Detroit's last 10 games. That loss to Valpo, tough loss for Detroit where they shot only 33% from the field. Wins against Milwaukee and Youngstown State down the stretch. Loss at home to Green Bay. They lost 2 at Chicago. And that put Detroit in the number 4 spot in the Horizon League in the tournament. And they're facing the number 5, Wright State, here tonight. This is the great give and go as Reynolds, the third person in that passing chain for Detroit. So Detroit up by 10. Demings. And Demings is fouled. So Demings will go to the line and shoot 2. As Shayak picks up her second, and if you haven't had enough timeouts yet, here's another one. 11 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this one. 10-point lead for the Titans. You're watching the Horizon League Women's Basketball Tournament in high definition on the Horizon League Network.
Medical mistakes are a global concern. At Henry Ford, we've chosen to set a new standard. If every hospital adopted our practices for quality and safety, it would virtually eliminate prescription drug errors and infections. It would reduce mortality rates by over 25%. And this year alone, it would save over 1.1 million lives. When the world needs a higher standard, they look to Henry Ford.
What does it take to compete in Horizon League Women's Basketball?
Heart. Grit. Determination. Toughness. Passion.
11 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this one. The Titans have pulled out to a 10-point lead now, 49-39. Nice run by Detroit now here in the second half. After a 7-0 run, the Titans are now on an 11-0 run, a 7-0 run by Wright State. The Titans now have gone on an 11-0 run. 21 points, 1 assist, and 5 boards for Brown. 14 points, 6 assists, and 4 boards for Fambro. 8, 5, and 9 for Yar Shayak. 4, 1, and 4 for Rosanna Reynolds. Detroit shooting 7 of 17 here in the second half. So Detroit shooting 47% for the game. Wright State only shooting 34%. And Demings at the line makes the first of 2 free throws. And Demings 2 of 2. She was a 67% free throw shooter coming into this one. Demings with 20 at Cleveland State in that win for Wright State. Shayak. Reynolds. Lavita Stevens still in the game for Detroit. Brown kicks it out to Rosanna Reynolds. Stevens, nice play into Brown. All by herself is Fambro. Let's see, yes. Demeisha Fambro with another triple. Great ball movement again for Detroit. Really unusual ball movement for this Titan team because they don't normally hold on to the ball that long. Elkins, left side, off the bottom of the glass. Demings. And that one counts for 3. So Demings with her second triple. She has 14 points. 8-point lead for Detroit. Fambro. Reynolds in the corner. Levita Stevens still on the floor. Reynolds loses the handle, keeps it from going over half court. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Reynolds will need to shoot it. Reynolds puts it up. Reynolds almost made it a 3. Good job by Reynolds to get the shot off, even though it didn't go. Fed inside, spin move, goes for Stanton back into the game. So Stanton with 10 points, but 4 fouls. Fambro. And an offensive foul on Brown. She's not happy with it. Her second. 5 on Detroit. Substitutions for Detroit. Shearer comes back onto the floor. Hatter will come back out onto the floor. And Levita Stevens and Brown will sit down for the Titans. So that's 2 on Sharita Brown. We're inside 10 minutes. Detroit up by 6, 52-46. Elkins. She's watching her coach before she runs the play. Reynolds reaches in and knocks it away. Shearer picks it up. And Reynolds will bring it up. Good job by Rosanna Reynolds to reach in and break that play up. Reynolds. Fambro. Hatter for 3. Off the bench, short. And that one will go out of bounds and be Wright State's possession. So Hatter right off the bench tries to shoot the 3. And Demings, second team all-league, brings it up for the Wright State Raiders. And a foul on Fambro. So Fambro picks up her third. And that is 6 on Detroit. So Fambro with 3, Brown with 2, Stanton with 4 for Wright State. Brown will come back onto the floor, and Yar Shayak will sit down. Yar also with 2. Demings. Rebound Wright State. Demings for a deep, deep 3 off the high glass. Coach Mike Bradbury not real happy with that shot selection right there. That was thrown up like it was with a 1/10 of a second remaining at halftime. Reynolds. Fambro almost traveled again. Lobbed into Brown from Shear, and Brown, I think we need to name that the Brown spot on the floor because she owns it right there. Sharita Brown with 23. Elkins through traffic, gets it the roll. Casey Elkins with 4. Nice job on the left side of the basket. Elkins, a junior, part of that nucleus that will be back next year for Wright State. 6-point lead for Detroit. Reynolds. Fambro to Shearer. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Hatter thought about the 3. Fambro will take it. Fambro drains it. Demeisha Fambro is unconscious tonight with 6 triples. She has 20. Demings up to Stuckey. Almost knocked away by Hatter, and a travel call is the result on Stuckey. And Destiny Levita Stevens comes into the game. And a timeout. This is a media timeout at 7:12 remaining. 57-48, Detroit on top. You're watching the Horizon League Women's Basketball Quarterfinals in high definition on the Horizon League Network.
It started with an idea that changed the world. And 100 years later, just down the road from where the Wright brothers tested their flying machines, Wright State University is making discoveries that will transform our world, making the national airspace safer, studying disorders of the nervous system, internationally recognized for preparing healthcare providers and first responders for emergencies, making data meaningful in today's knowledge economy, solving problems and creating jobs. Wright State University.
7:12 remaining in this one, as you see Fambro with another triple, and the Titans with a 57-48 lead over Wright State, as Mike Bradbury working with his troops. You have to assume that Wright State at least has one more run in them. Always games of streaks. Detroit on a 19-9 run right now. That's about the 14-32 mark of the second half. Checking the out-of-town scoreboard, Youngstown State is up by 7, 50-43, with 7:34 remaining in their game. Loyola up by 5, 20-15, with 7:34 remaining in the first half. And Green Bay, as you see Hatter try to put that one up, Green Bay up 21-11 with 7:16 remaining in the first half at Green Bay. Lamott to Stuckey. Stuckey around Hatter. Stuckey tries to take it to the hole, and Hatter will get called. So for Hatter, that's her first, 7 on Detroit. And Stuckey will go to the line now and shoot 2. Stuckey with 13 points tonight, make it 14. We mentioned that Stuckey number 5 in the Horizon League in free throw shooting. And she is 4 of 4 tonight. And Youngstown, or Wright State, only down by 7, 57-50. Brown in a triple team, familiar setting for her. Shearer all by herself. Sine Shearer finally hits a 3. She was 0 for 6 in the first half trying to shoot the 3. And that's her first points of the game. And that comes at a very opportune time for Detroit as Elkins. This is Stuckey. Elkins. And the fadeaway move. Elkins has 6. 80% of Shearer's baskets this year have been threes. Shearer. Hatter. Fambro. Short. Rebound Wright State. 8-point lead for Detroit. Elkins. Short. Put back goes for Stanton. Stanton with 12. They have a heck of a time with Wright State's dark green numbers on their black jerseys. Shearer tries to get around her man, kicks it back. Hatter wanted to take the 3. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hatter all by herself underneath. Hatter gets the roll. Megan Hatter with her first basket of the night. Detroit up by 8. We're inside 5. And a turnover for the Raiders. Shyok and Reynolds back into the game for Detroit. Levita Stevens will sit down along with Brown as Autumn Rademacher with some different lineups on the floor tonight. Different mixes of players tonight. Some necessitated by fouls, others just by production and performance. Detroit up by 8 right now. Fambro. Hatter for a deep 3. Off the bracket. Shyok battling with it, and coming down with the board is Demings. Demings left side. Demings off the glass, can't get it to go. Reynolds battling for the rebound. And Reynolds is fouled. And for Stuckey, that's her first.
Foul number 32, Brianna Stuckey. That's her first.
4 on Wright State. So Fambro brings it up as we approach the 4-minute mark. Bounce pass into Shyok. Hatter. Reynolds. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Nice job by Hatter to keep it in bounds. At the buzzer, Demeisha Fambro with 7 triples tonight. Detroit back up by 11. Demings. Stuckey in traffic. Demings with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Demings for 3. Short air ball. Rosanna Reynolds there for the Titans. Fambro brings it up. She has 23 tonight. Detroit now wanting to eat some time off the clock, up by 11. Yar Shyok, and the defensive foul called, a blocking foul, as Shyok picks up the basket. Give her 10. Honestly thought that one could have went either way. And it'll be a 3-point opportunity for Yar Shyok. 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in this one. The Titans up now 67-54. You're watching the Horizon League quarterfinals in high definition on the Horizon League Network.
When I was buying health coverage for my family on my own, it was really confusing choosing the right plan. But when I contacted Blue Cross, they were great. They answered all my questions and guided me to a health plan that's perfect for my whole family. Blue Cross took away the confusion. They helped me when I needed it most.
Expert guidance from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in this one. This is another triple, I believe, or one of the triples from Fambro. This one goes a couple back. And the Titans now with a 67-54 lead. Now we've got all kinds of information on Fambro coming in right now. Fambro is 2 points away from her career high of 25. She has 8 assists, which I didn't even notice. 3 already over her career high of 5. And triple-wise, she has 7 triples here today. And we're trying to clarify where that ranks this season. So a 67-54 lead for Detroit. And Yar Shayak with an opportunity to make this a three-point play. She has 10. Yar shooting 67% from the stripe. This is her first trip to the stripe tonight. And she made that one. Give her 11 points. Detroit up by 14, their largest lead of the game. Expect Wright State, who does like to shoot the three, to start shooting the three at the first opportunity. Demings short, and Detroit will let it go out of bounds with 2 minutes. Whoa. They're saying it was tipped. And no one in the place buying that right now. So since it's a tip, they need to reset the shot clock possibly. They're going to move it to 13 seconds on the shot clock, 13 seconds, as Wright State maintains the possession. Lobbed in to Demings. Demings off the glass. Demings gets the roll. Demings with the 16. So the last time a Titan player had 8 triples in a game was 1987. So Fambro in rare air here tonight. Brown has it stripped away. And a turnover for Wright State. And Brown will slow it down. Gets thrown away. And Autumn Rademacher, looking for the same call the other way, thought it was a tip. She won't get the same courtesy. One minute, 50 seconds remaining in this game. Brown knocks it away. Here comes Shear. Shear ahead to Yar Shayak. Shayak off the glass. Yar Shayak with 13. And Detroit up by 14 now with a minute and a half remaining. Lamont. Stuckey. Stuckey just kind of lobbed it at the hoop, hoping for the best. And a rebound for Detroit. As the Titans look like they're going to advance to the next round of the tournament and the semifinals on Friday, March 15th. Shayak with a double-double here tonight with 13 points and 10 assists. Brown muscles it up, gets her own rebound, and Brown gets it to roll and draws the foul. And the foul will be on Elkins, her first. So Detroit, with more than likely the unenviable task of facing Green Bay at Green Bay. The Titans did break Green Bay's winning streak a couple of years ago at Green Bay. Brown misses that one. And we're inside a minute. And stolen away by Shear. And about a 8-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, and the fans here at Callahan Hall now coming to their feet as time running out on this season for Wright State. Fambro short on that one. And a rebound for the Raiders. And Detroit will let this one go off the glass and will not drop. And the Titans come away with a big 72-56 win here at Callahan Hall. And the Titans will move on to play the winner of the Valpo Green Bay game. A big win for Detroit here tonight. They are 6-1 now at home in tournament play. And Coach Autumn Rademacher, they gave you a little scare there at halftime coming out of the second half, but your girls played pretty well tonight.
You know what they did. I'm really proud of their efforts, and I know that they really wanted this game, and they came out and, you know what, they obviously these kind of games are going to be very close and very competitive all the way till the end, and by golly, Demeisha Fambro, she came out of nowhere and just had a great game for her last home game. I'm just so proud of her and her efforts and being able to knock down shots.
7 triples for her, another double-double for Yar.
Demeisha? She made 7?
She made 7.
Get out of town. Wow, okay.
And another big night for Brown. And, you know, I've said it all season long. I don't know what to call that spot on the floor when Brown gets there. She is unstoppable on the left side of the hoop.
Yeah, you know what? She really likes to be on that side, and that's just where she ends up. It's like a magnet. She just kind of goes over there, and that's where she's just really comfortable. So, you know what? Hey, if we can get her the ball on that block, that's what we'll do.
And she draws a double team and a triple team every time she goes down there, and it doesn't matter.
I know. She does really well on that block, and she has a lot of hands and feet and noses and grabbing jerseys, and how she's able to get that ball off that block and find open people is beyond me, but you know what, she finds a way.
And I know you don't want to talk much about this, but this may be the last time that we get a chance to see you this season. But obviously you lose Yar, you lose Demeisha Fambro, but you have a lot of talent coming back to this team next year here at Callahan Hall.
Very excited, and we're adding some really good kids too in our freshman class. So, and we also get a kid eligible that we really think is going to help us next year. But I just can't say enough about Yar and Misha and their senior year that they're having, and I just hope that we can continue and get up to Green Bay and have a good showing, unlike we did the first time around.
Yeah, obviously this season not over yet, and a chance to show Green Bay how it's done up there.
Well, we'd like to do that. That's the plan. So we'll get on that right now.
All right. Well, congratulations tonight. Congratulations on a good season, and good luck at Green Bay.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. We'll see you soon, Coach. Autumn Rademacher, the head coach of your Detroit Titans, as the Titans come away with a 72-56 win here at Callahan Hall, and a big win for the Titans as they'll move on to the semifinal round. That is Friday, March 15th. That time has yet to be determined, but that will be the start time, and you can see that on the Horizon League Network. As you see our credits go by, we want to thank everybody who helped us out with Detroit Titan basketball here on the Horizon League Network this season. Jason Merrill and Evan Chapman here tonight, along with Spencer Fraunfelter. In the control room tonight, Jared Seguin, Rob Randcore, and Christian Gibbons, who has been our producer and director all season. And our thanks to Nina Carter and to Chelsea Humphrey, who were with us all year working on stats and helping us with stage management. Also thanks to Nate York, Brett George, Matt McIntosh, all working on our broadcast this season. Thanks to Rob Randcore also, who ran replay this season for our Horizon League broadcast. So in the event that this is the last time that we see you this year, we want to thank you very much for watching Detroit Titan basketball here on the Horizon League Network this year. Again, don't forget our semifinals coming up on Friday, March 15th, and the championship game on ESPNU on Sunday, March 17th. So for Mark Engel, this is Dan York saying so long from Callahan Hall. Again, the final, the Titans 72, Wright State 56. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.